It's unusual for a 22-year-old to be thinking about their legacy.
I don't know how much time I have. And that's how my dad lived his life, with this sense of, I don't know how long I'm around. I take so much inspiration from that.
I'm stoked for you. I've been watching every week. We call it Robert Irwin Wednesday because it was Wednesday in Australia. The whole office was loving it. And we'd all run around saying, have you seen his dance? Have you seen his dance? And myself and a colleague were like, he's going to win from that first episode. A kind of lame question, but how do you feel?
I'm still trying to figure that out. It hasn't really sunk in. It's such a surreal thing. The amount of full circle moments that happen within that experience is incredible.
Robert ever consider doing Dancing with the Stars as a dancer?
Yeah.
Would you, as a celebrity, would you do it?
Definitely, I would love to.
Can you imagine how good this would be?
That would be so much fun.
I remember sitting there, 11 years old, watching my sister lift that mirror ball. Then to be there 10 years later, Bindi in the same seat that I was when I was 11 years old, and she is watching me doing the same thing, was incredible. To have Whitney as my dance partner, who was there on Bindi's season, to have Derek, who was her dance partner, there at the judges' table, and to have Alfonso Ribeiro, the host of the show, who won with Whitney 11 years ago to the day, there giving us our mirror ball. It was just amazing. But more than that, and deeper than that, this was a way to represent my message first and foremost, and what my family's all about, and the legacy that I carry, but also that I'm trying to create. But it was also about representing Australia, and the love that I felt from home is really what kept me going. Honestly, it was incredible, and it meant a lot to me to represent my home.
It's unusual for a 22-year-old to be thinking about their legacy.
I think for me, my entire life, that's what it's been centered around. I sort of had this epiphany last year where I went, my life really is centered around legacy. When there is someone in your life that is so incredibly influential, you know, the two most influential people in my life, my mum and my dad, you know, when you lose one half of that dynamic, you lose such a strong figure in your life. And the one person that you kind of look up to through your life is such a strong individual. For me, it fills me with this sense of life is really short, and this entire world that I've been immersed in since I was a little kid, all I've known is this beautiful, incredible world of wildlife and conservation. I realized, okay, this is like this amazing privilege to keep all of that going, but I don't know how much time I have. And that's how my dad lived his life, with this sense of, I don't know how long I'm around, I'm just going to give this 110%. I take so much inspiration from that. You know, I plan on being 100 years old still doing this, but I want to live the next 80 years at 200 miles an hour, you know, because I feel like there's so much I want to get done, because we need it. We need very badly environmental advocates, and I really want to be that for the next generation.
Check out the size of that bloke. Let's go and have a look.
You've given permission to the world to see you as an adult, and I don't think of you as a little kid anymore. You know, you looked hot in the Bonds Undies campaign, you looked hot with your shirt off on the show, and I don't mean that in a way to be gratuitous or creepy.
No, I love it. Let's go.
I don't mean that to be sleazy, but you know, there's a lot of people going, oh God, like, are we allowed to look at him that way? But I
find that so funny. It's really fun to me when I hear people being like, oh, can I? that whole Bonds campaign that I did, when they originally came to me with that, I thought, wow, this is out of the ordinary. This is really different. I don't know. But when they said the entire focus of this campaign is Australian wildlife, I went, ooh, okay, you've got me now. But then on a personal level, in my early 20s, it's like this transition to like, yeah, I am a man now. But to me, the sign of, okay, you are a man now and you're becoming a man, you know, there's so much attached to becoming a man. But to me, on Dancing with the Stars, I could show a side that was fierce and intense and passionate, but I could also show a side that was incredibly vulnerable. And I didn't mind being emotional. I'd never cried so much, let alone on national television in my life, but I was very okay with that, because to me that is what it is to become a man, is to embrace your own sense of of vulnerability and realize the power in being vulnerable and realize that it's okay. If you're crying and you're sharing that experience with people, there's nothing wrong with that, and often that can actually help people.
Beautiful. Hollywood, Zootopia, you're in the latest one, you do a small bit, everyone's knocking on your door now.
The door's very open. Like I'm enjoying doing a lot of different side quests, because I sort of thought for a long time the way to move forward this legacy of animal conservation and of environmentalism, and the way to get all of that out there would be through wildlife documentaries, and that's really where my heart beats from, and I love that. But I realised that the way I can amplify my work at Australia Zoo into an even bigger audience is by doing these kind of random little side quests, like Dancing with the Stars, who would have thought? Or Zootopia, voicing a koala in Zootopia. And then all of a sudden people are talking about koalas. So I sort of, at this point, I don't throw anything out of the question. I would love to do more in the scripted space, in movies and that sort of thing would be really cool. I'd also love to do more within the animal documentary and kind of get back to my roots with a conservation-based show. There's so many things that rattle around through my brain.
I'm a celebrity. You and Julia still have that gorgeous, beautiful chemistry.
It's so much fun. The dynamic between Julia and I, it just feels like riding a bike. We come over here and it's just perfect. Honestly, the crop of celebrities that we have this year, it's kind of lightning in a bottle. I think we're going to see quite a electric combination here. I think it's going to be explosive in all the best ways that I'm a Celebrity is about.